I have to circumcise our baby because it's my culture. But his father refused not. I said, our baby will have to circumcise because she's a lady.
Op dat moment dat zij buiten mij om onze dochter zou laten besnijden, dat ik dan afzie van mijn vaderschap.
You cannot arrest all the people in this country who are doing circumcision.
Have you heard about the female circumcision here in the Gambia?
No.
We kennen elkaar ruim een jaar nu. We willen samen iets opbouwen hier in Afrika in eerste instantie. In de vorm van een guesthouse. En we hebben serieuze plannen om aan een gezin te gaan denken.
Well, suppose I deliver a baby girl. It's no more longer in my hand, it's together with his father. Because his father do not like the circumcision affairs. Circumcision affairs.
And you?
Yeah, I meet my parents, they do it. I also circumcise.
Ik persoonlijk ben er absoluut op tegen. Maar ik denk wel dat ik haar kan overtuigen om onze dochter onaangetast te laten, als je het zo kunt noemen.
Tried to interview me, but I did not tell him the reality.
Why not?
Because he was a man. And the society is not for men, it's for women. So the society means not to expose things that you see inside of the bush, not to expose it to men, to infect you.
We hebben recentelijk een miskraam gehad. We zeg ik, zij heeft een miskraam gehad. Een maand geleden van een tweeling. En daar zijn we nu op dit moment eigenlijk nog steeds aan het verwerken.
Every day, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I have to come there.
And then?
And I feel, I have some sorrow to myself. I feel sorry.
Why?
Because I love the children. I love them very much.
Ik ging 's morgens naar mijn werk, 9 uur. 11 uur kreeg zij de eerste weeën. Om 12 uur beviel zij van een tweeling. Na plus minus 6 maanden.
Helemaal alleen?
Helemaal alleen. Ik kreeg de weeën in de tuin. Ze heeft zichzelf naar binnen gesleept. En is toen in de slaapkamer bevallen.
Whilst I was feeling the pain, like somebody was in the house, but it was a woman, a white woman. And then I could not help myself again. And then she was helping me. She asked me to push. So I pushed 1, 2, making 3 times. The baby come out. I deliver 1. After I could not know myself again. So she was pressing me like this, pressing me until I deliver up to the time the afterbirth come out. And then I come outside like she was behind me, coming outside there until I buried the 2 babies. And then I feel like somebody was holding me in my hand like this, taking me into the house.
Helemaal alleen?
Ja. Ik kwam thuis om 1:30. Toen ik haar aantrof in bed. Ze was helemaal zwak op dat moment. En we zijn toen direct naar de dokter gegaan. Waar ze tabletten gekregen heeft en een onderzoek. En ik moet zeggen dat ze er zelf lichamelijk heel snel bovenop is gekomen.
%83 of women in the Gambia are circumcised. It involves the removal of the clitoris, which is irreversible. You can never return it there. And as a result, the complications results to death. It results to pain. Many women and children are suffering in silence. I have 3 daughters. They are not circumcised. Some have actually been lucky to get their children escape from circumcision.
At what age?
I was circumcised at the age of 11. Then I was in primary school. I was quite innocent. I looked forward to it because it was part of my culture. I was told I was going to eat bananas, I was going to meet other people, and we're going to do a lot of things together and so on and so forth. So the day I was circumcised, I could very fully well remember I bled so heavily that I did not know anything that was around me anymore. Because you are now coping with something that is beyond your control, a shock that you cannot understand, which is beyond. It's only when you reflect many years back and thinking of how it happened, then you start having fear. There's that fear in you. For that matter, I wanted to help other women and children in my own culture and other cultures that practice this to be protected, because I think it's part of their bodies. What is removed from me is part of my body, and this is what makes me a woman. And I believe every woman should be proud of that.
I am a lawyer by profession and a magistrate now, and I'm the head of this court in Banjul. And the subject of circumcision is very, very sensitive in this country. We have transport difficulty. I can go with you, but what about your witnesses? It's another problem. If you want to make a law against it now, you will not succeed, because the law should pass through parliament, and it will not go through parliament, and people will oppose it, people will against the law also, because still now majority of the people in the country are doing this circumcision. So if you want to make law against it, you are making law against the will of the people. They are doing this just to make sure that the girls are not promiscuous. But if you can train your children or your daughter to respect herself, and until she's married, it's not necessary for you to circumcise her again.
Some men would tell you that those who have experienced both women, that is a circumcised woman and a non-circumcised woman, a woman with her clitoris intact, those men who have experienced them and have told us during our workshops said a circumcised woman is less responsive to sex than an uncircumcised woman. So in essence, they would tell us it's better to have an uncircumcised woman. I cannot possibly say what is sexual enjoyment because I've lost that part of my body, so it's difficult to say how it looks like when you have it.
I will prefer definitely a woman who is not circumcised at all, because she has more feelings than a circumcised woman. So it's better if our African or Gambian girls are not circumcised at all, so that they will also enjoy the natural feelings that is given to them as a gift.
We know that female genital mutilation is not a religious injunction. It is not in any authenticated ahadith, but there is a lot of misinterpretation of the Quran and the ahadith, and therefore people playing on the ignorance of most of the people, the population in the Gambia, particularly women, whose literacy rate is very low, who do not have access to the Quran to read, as well as other information that they can rely on.
Ni aje nin ado nata abe dino la kon bawo muso ni manta nya kato ila dino buka futa kato asa possible ngage alqur'ano to nyami ike jarabi keno kan.
She said this thing is in the Quran. This thing is in the Quran, because if you are not circumcised, then you cannot be a good Muslim. Because if you are not circumcised, you cannot control yourself. You always follow men. Yes.
Are you going to circumcise Fatu?
Maybe. Maybe I will take her. But before taking her, I have to discuss with her father.
No, I really love my daughter, and I don't want to harm her in any way. Personally, I think it's a bit degrading. It's inhuman, it's harmful, and now with the traditional way of doing circumcision, it can easily spread the disease or diseases like HIV. But some of them use the same instrument for circumcising more than 10 children. So if one is infected, it's going to infect all others. So health-wise, it's not good. And on the side of human rights, also, it's a violation.
In your heart, when it is a baby girl?
I do like to circumcise her.
Why?
Because of some reasons. That when you, as a woman, when you are not circumcised in Africa, I don't know about the European, but we Africans, the reason why we circumcise is for some certain reason. People don't know. It's only when you go to the society you circumcise. It's the only time you can know why that we go. We do like to circumcise.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But it is harmful?
It is so harmful. It is harmful. It's not good. When you say it to yourself, you're not going to stand even, because it's harmful. You yourself, when you saw that with your eye, you feel so discouraged, and you not like to make the camera again 2 times. And I like the baby to be circumcised.
Are we gonna solve that problem?
I'm gonna solve it. One thing only. She have to circumcise.
I don't agree on it.
Why? My point not to ask you why.
I told you, a body comes perfect in this world. We hope, at least, comes perfect on this world. In that moment, I don't allow anybody to put a finger on it.
Well.
So then you have a big problem.
This is why I said well. Because she have to know my culture.
Okay, when you say that way, there is a solution. Why you don't let her choose herself on an older stage, on a older age, when she's older, about 16 years old, because it's still possible to do it.
Yeah, you can be 20 years or 30 years, you can circumcise herself.
And then she decide by her own.
She know.
You cannot decide for her while she's not knowing what's gonna happen with her.
She knows
really
already, because she knows the mother, she's the black. And if she's living
she knows
among
the father, he's white.
Yeah, when she's living among the black people, then she knows more about the culture. But black, because she knows my mother. My mother, she's a black, that's what she's saying. My mother, she's a black, my father is a European.
Yes.
She have these 2 feelings together. And she also live in Africa at that particular time.
You know this dad?
Family-wise, we have high respect for our elders. But I am sure, by tradition even, that my mother cannot do this without my knowledge. So I must be consulted. But even if it happens, I think it's criminal, and I have all rights against you for doing something against my will.
Lamin,
Yes.
this is your mother.
Yes.
Can you ask her what she think about the circumcision? If she is for or against?
Okay. Yo, I can't any comment now. Well, for ilaftaning nyakato talalabang for malafa.
Afan ngataral.
That's a tradition.
So it means she is for.
Akaunde telaftalanta.
Yemen tara adoti kala falan.
Yes. This is a tradition, that's why she is for.
You told me that you are against.
Yes.
So now you have a problem with your mother.
No problem.
Can you say to her that you are against?
Yes, she knows that I am against it. I don't support it.
But can you say that to your mother?
In our language?
Yes.
Ako, purunde nga itandila ko nte malafal.
Nita man lefentor kala falan.
Yes. Say, I don't like it, but they like it. They support it.
Hey, acha.
Aja mutabo.
E fo pele. Man.
So Lamin,
Yes.
can you ask your mother? Is it possible that she circumcised Fatu in secret?
For the singing, for someone who No,
And I kill them.
she cannot do it. Okay, good. Mbaso, yo, ako, fo sai, bri tata nyakato, ay pareta, fo I contente la saimba. Kodi? Yes, she's happy now that she's circumcised. What mengal bitaje, eh? Ko e nyadile, ye mna foye. E man fem foye. Okay. Said I was not told anything. I was just told, let's go to the house. What men ibal sambala nyakat fo aka dimin ne ba aka dimin. Huh? Yes. Said it was painful. For e kumbo tale numbang for ke ba manyin kabang for e kafu mole mako. Yes. Said she was crying for help.
I like to see a circumcision.
Well, if you like to see, it's not possible for you to just see like that, because it's very difficult. It's a suicide thing. At the same time, you should very be careful, because there are 3 people so far. One that's holding the foot and one that's holding the hand. One that's holding the hand you should be very careful of, because if she sees she don't like you, that what you're doing is not good, she can also say to people to handle you, to catch you, to do it. This is the tool, the knife, and the tool to catch the thing, clitoris, and the knife to cut. This is what I have here. This is one, the one you saw top, it belonged to the spirit of the bush. So he gave it to each of the women that circumcised. He gave it for protection. When we are in the bush to circumcise, this is what we use to hold the top of the clitoris here, because 2 people you handle this here. Hold it, and another woman is beside you like this, and I am the woman that's circumcised. Then I have to use this like this, and hold that knife. Just cut the two clitoris here, to cut them with a knife. And after you do it like this, and then you can press this to take the top.
His feet has already delivered just now, but it has undergone a female genital mutilation. You can see it here. All the clitoris has been removed. See, the clitoris has been removed. So the vaginal orifice is becoming closer because of the scar which has been formed here.
And after we can take the child, we take this like this, and this little thing that we have in there, we open this and we collect the other one, tie it like this, and bring it on the wrapper, leave it there. And then we wrap it like this, wrap it, and also take this knife, do it like this, do it like this, and you wrap it from the mouth. We take this and bring it to the spirit of the bush and show him what we have done. And then if we don't done anything good, he will also tell us, show us what kind of medicine that we can use on the child to cure them, to make them cure before 1 week up to the time we'll take them out of the bush.
She has spent almost 42 years doing this job. Some people she circumcised have their own children now. Her mother has done this job. Her sister has done this job. Her stepmother has done this job, and she's the fourth person in the family now who is also doing the same job. So it's inherited in the family. This is where she is doing the circumcision of the girls in open.
How many girls does she circumcise every year?
Ya ko fo hakilo bakang comme sango sang e ka dindi njelle dundi kuyama
bawo hani ni si ta banjunu tuame yenyine fo ko.
She said she cannot remember exactly how many children she circumcised in a year because there are plenty, and also she is trained in the modern ways how to do the circumcision. And in their training, they teach them to cut only a slight part of it, very small part of it, so that there will be no excessive bleeding, there will be no sickness, and there will be no death in their hands. And she has also learned that, and that's what she is doing now. So they do it only small and not big.
Have you seen that girls died because of the circumcision?
Yes, I have seen 3 girls. One was 8 years old, one was 9, and one was 7 years old. And I was there. I washed the dead body. I helped them to wash the child, and they buried them at the bush, because when you died at the bush, you are not allowed to bury outside. They have to bury them inside of the bush.
And what did they say? That it is a witch?
They said to us it was a witch, but he was not a witch, because they used the wrong thing to cut the clitoris. They use a thing that they open, like I can show an example. Like you bought a thing of sardine in your hand, and you open the top, the cover of the thing of the sardine. Is that what they use to cut?
Ako, jama, most of the time there are medical problems afterwards. For example, urine way infections and problems during delivery. Is she aware of this problem? Sumuna silo isi kolea sotoje. Ako fo nyinene kete bulle ban fodu nene akala mutale ban fana.
Nte. Amunta ngamme dame mfali.
She said she is very much aware of that problem, because even herself, she is called at the hospital sometimes when they have difficulties to go and help them in deliveries. But she said the way she is doing her circumcision, it never reached the urinary tract. And it never reached the delivery tract also. It's only a small portion which does not affect urine or delivery. So there is no complication.
You stand here, look what they're gonna have. How get it? You see how the head is coming now? This should have been pushed to our face. Oh, how do you see the question it came out with? Let me check.
They are saying
No.
This is this.
The persistent VEs has caused all this.
Yes. Stand is mama.
See, can I please?
Baby is alive.
And what about the risks you take?
You take for what?
It's not a proper operation.
This is why they said it's a suicide thing. One, when you are a witch, you go to circumcise, you can die in there, for sure, because what you are going to see there is more than witch. It's not something natural.
So that's what this
Reason, yes. When you are a witch, whenever, as soon as you finish to, when they are finished to circumcise you, when you are a witch, you die immediately in there. This is why people thought the circumcising, when people die there, they thought they died from the circumcising. No, because they have another mean out of the wall before they enter into the bush.
Society is very smart. They hide themselves. An accident, what happened, an infection, they say, oh, it was a witch, and everybody believes it was a witch.
No.
I think the best solution, anyway, is that the child himself or herself choose what to do.
Just as I said to you, not me have to decide for the baby, for the child, right? That she have to decide. Because she is not a robber that I have to force to bring her in my culture.
But that's what happens all of the time in Africa.
Yeah,
Children, they don't know even what happens. They don't know the real society of it. They know only the tradition.
The society is something that gives you power. It gives you things that you can live on this world. But I cannot tell you forward what is the deep. So I tell you talk. Because you feel free.
But nobody can tell me about circumcision.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody can tell you because...
How you can convince me whilst I don't know?
No, nobody will convince you on that.
But I don't do things blind. When I don't have the feeling that it's good, I don't want to do that. I just refuse. Especially with my daughter. Or my son.
Well, you don't have to judge because you never know the feeling of
God creates human being. In that moment, everything is perfect. You have 10 fingers, you have 2 foot, you walk on your legs, you have eyes to see. Why you should take one eye off? You need 2. You take one eye off. Isn't that the same thing?
I don't think it's the same because when you take one eye off, you can see with your other eye. It's just like when you cut your hand. I cut my hand, you cut your hand. We put that blood together and we swear or something. Never say that thing to anyone. When I say it, I'll die. It's like that.
For me, it's only tradition.
Yes.
Laurens, volgens mij is het laatste woord hier nog niet over gesproken, hè?
Nee, ik denk het niet. Maar dat zijn ook... moet zeggen, het zijn zeer gevoelige zaken, maar ik ben ervan overtuigd dat een persoon zelf moet kiezen wat er met hem gebeurt. Zodra het een eigen keuze is, dan heb ik totaal geen bezwaar. Maar om een kind ongevraagd te opereren op een dermate primitieve manier is voor mij absoluut taboe.
I have this now for 14 years.
And you are still using it?
Yeah, I'm still using it. I use it about 2 months ago. I use it. So this is my tool that I can use to anybody I want to. Not anybody, but anybody that likes to circumcise, I can use this. So I can circumcise. Since 12 years old, I started to circumcise.
How many children have you circumcised?
But since I've brought up about 21.
Are there more secrets I have to know?
Yes, there are more secrets you have to know. This is what happened after the circumcision. We can beat the child. I can beat the child like this. I beat him.
For how long?
Maybe for 45 seconds, just keep beating that child. Just beating that child. just beating. Don't think if it's a human being or not. Just beat only one place like this. Beat, beat, and after you stop. When you stop, you ask her what she have already learned from the bush. And then we give them the real power, human being blood.
From whom?
We cut our flesh, we that circumcise, we the women that do the circumcision. We cut our own flesh, we cut them with laser, maybe one, and we have a cup. Everybody squeeze his own blood. And then we have maybe 100 gram of water, blood there, blood we have on the cup. And then we bring the blood to the child, give them to drink. That moment we give them to drink, then we have to beat jambes, we beat jambes to draw the spirits for them to come and assist us over things we're doing. So that moment we are beating the jambe, and the children, they are not normal anymore. They don't know anything what we are doing again because they're half gone, half in the world, half in another place. After giving them the blood, and then we dig a hole. The hole maybe, we dig that hole up to here, and then we bury the children on these holes. Bury them and put fire on them, top of the hole, top of the dirty of the hole where we bury them, and we leave the head outside. So we leave the spirit of the bush with the children.
You bury them in
a hole, but the head have to be out. Just the one whole body should be buried. This head should be outside, and we put fire on top of the dirty.
But that is very hot.
It will be hot, but it's a power. They will not feel it because it's something that it is not natural. After bury them that 3 days in the bush, we put fire on them and leave them 3 days together with the spirit. And like today, we take them out. The mother, the father, all children, they come now with different clothes to make them nice, take them out of the bush.
That's the big ceremony.
Yeah, the big ceremony now. To circumcise our baby because it's my culture.
Op dat moment dat zij buiten mij om onze dochter zou laten besnijden, dat ik dan afzie van En vaderschap.
Our baby will have to circumcise because she's a lady.